a presentation on F5 and the state of the industry. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Dave, and good morning, everyone. Let me start by something I normally do when I'm in front of partners and customers, and that's thanking you for your business last year, and thanks for contributing to this success that we've had. We did a similar event to this, not on the same scale, but a similar event to this in Budapest for our European partners and European customers. I think it was about 3 months ago. And then, of course, I've been in the US for 16 years now, so I had to apologize to the Europeans for my American accent. I'm so pleased that I don't need to do it today. Anyway. Right, the topic is F5's role in the agile infrastructure. I'm just going to talk about the industry in general. I'm not going to be talking about a product roadmap. I am going to make some comments about what I think our main value add is. But just before I do that, Matt talked somewhat about the revenue growth that we've enjoyed over the last few years, and we've been pretty excited about it. I think it's a classic case of being the right place at the right time. I mean, we are, as you know, being partners and customers, we optimize applications. But really what we are becoming, and you could argue we are today, is a pretty strong infrastructure player within the data center. We see all the paths of data that's moving around the data center. We're very fluent in terms of application knowledge. And as data centers are evolving into large commodity building blocks, we play a really critical role. And I think that's one of the reasons we've been pretty successful. If you look at the slide, there's a dip in the slide that most companies, if you saw a technology company slide, you'd see this. And that obviously was the economy issues that we had in late 08 and the beginning of 09. The thing that gives me a lot of confidence about where F5 sits right now is the fact that the way we've described the macroeconomy issues in terms of the way it affected F5 is we saw it really as just a pause in spending. And it only lasted for us about 4 months, and then, as you can see from the chart, we started to come out of it very quickly and grow. And we believe that that's because we're high up there in the radar spending. What we do now is very, very mission critical. Typically, when I meet customers, and I like to do it all the time, the first thing the customer will tell me is, "Do you realize how mission critical F5 is in our data center? We don't spend that much money with you, but you're very, very mission critical." I don't like the first bit, but we're very mission critical. We're very aware of that, so we realize product quality, customer sat is really, really critical. But I'll talk about that as we move through the presentation. We're still a small company. I mean, we've made reference to some of our technology partners that are here and are going to be presenting. Most of them very, very much bigger than we are. However, there's really probably not a day passes nowadays that everybody in the audience uses F5. You may not know that, but that's what you're doing if you're sending a text message, if you're sending a photograph over the internet. You're almost certainly using us. If you're using an ATM to take some money out of the bank, if you're booking an airline ticket, you're probably using us. If you're booking a ticket to go to the baseball, you're probably using it. We really are touching a lot of not just industries, not just enterprises, but also consumers because of where we sit within the internet. The last 10 years have been pretty amazing. Matt mentioned I actually joined F5 almost exactly 10 years ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago that I joined the company, and it was a pretty rough ride at the beginning, because it was right before the dot-com crash happened. We just had finished Y2K, where everybody was concerned about availability, and there was a lot of companies out there buying multiple servers. I was president of Sequent Computer Systems at the time. That's what we did. We basically loaded up because everybody thought there was going to be this massive availability issue when Y2K happened. Of course, it didn't. But then along came the dot-com crash, and at that point, something like 80% of our business was dot-com. So we were hit pretty quickly by it. And in fact, the chart that showed you the stock price, to be fair, on that chart, that when that article came out, we were one of the first companies that actually disclosed disaster, because 80% of our business was just going under. So our stock dropped faster than some of the other big ones like Cisco. So it's a little bit misleading, but overall the trend is still very positive for us. Then you had 9/11, and of course, that's changed everybody. And security is such a massive issue now, both physical but also technology. A number of other things happened. It's been a pretty amazing 10 years actually. But the one thing that's obvious is that things are changing all the time now. I mean, the financial crisis that happened a couple of years ago has brought massive business consolidation. And frankly, that's been a real big driver of our business. I present, along with Andy and a number of the execs, constantly to investors at investor conferences. I remember a couple of years ago when all the signs were there that we were going to have some real problems. The big issue that investors had with us was that 20% of our business on average was in the financial industry. And we kept saying that, yeah, I know it is, but we expect it to maintain around about that 20%, and it did. And that's because we saw a lot of business consolidation that actually drove our business. Business consolidation then driving to data center consolidation. I mentioned we're in the right place at the right time. I've never felt stronger about that than I do today. If you look at the business and industry drivers that are going on, we really are in the sweet spot. I mean, and from a business perspective, organizations need to be more productive, but they need to spend less. And certainly the customers here really understand that. Asking less budget, want more. And I think we help that. We're not the only answer, but I really believe we help that because we reduce costs, whether it's bandwidth, whether it's servers, whether it's the reduction in terms of support for applications. We reduce cost in a big way, but we also make the applications more competitive. So I think we're in the right place for that. And we're also, quite frankly, the percentage of capital spend that goes to F5 is reasonably small versus the overall big budget. So I think we're in a really good place. And then you've got the industry trends. I mean, it's just stunning. Data center consolidation. I know some of our customers are going to talk about that today. We've got customers that are going from 100 data centers down to 6. It's absolutely mind-boggling. As data centers are commoditizing, as servers are commoditizing, as virtualization technology is coming in to reduce the number of servers, then that's great. The capital spend goes down dramatically. However, the complexity increases and the security issues increase. And that's what we're very good at, managing the complexity, managing provisioning, for example, of servers and resources, basically reducing the number of servers, understanding what's happening at the application level. That's what we do. And you'll see from Carol's services roadmap, you're going to see a lot of investment going into that area. Virtualization is obviously, probably every customer in the room now is looking at server virtualization and using it. And typically, when I talk to customers, at the initial stages of it as well. When virtualization came out at first, the first reaction from investors with us again was, wow, you reduce the number of servers in the data center, but if virtualization does that too, that's going to take away your value add. It's been the opposite, in fact. So we've been working really well with our partners in virtualization, and that's been a big driver of our business. And our cloud computing, which is really an extension of all of the above, where you're basically, you're reducing the cost. If you can outsource an application in an easier way, it's the same concept. I really see it as an iterative process from data center consolidation. We've already seen project wins of $1 million plus on cloud computing. It's amazing how quickly it's coming along, and it's clearly something that's not going to go away, and it's a massive opportunity for us. And I know we'll be talking about that over the next day and a half. And then the explosion of mobile data. Mobile data has been a massive driver for us. I mentioned if you're sending a text or a telephone over a BlackBerry or an iPhone or an intelligent handset, you're using our product. Viprion in particular, chassis-based product, has done really well in the service provider space, where the traffic is just going crazy in terms of growth, compound numbers of 100% per year minimum. And not only do you have to manage that traffic in the data center, but you have to inspect the traffic, you have to secure the traffic, you have to build policies in the traffic, and that's what we do. And also unstructured data with files. The rate of files growth is just, again, meteoric in nature. And our ARX product, which has been slow in adoption, but we believe is now starting to build some real momentum, where you manage that data, where we can, the ROI on that product specifically is pretty tremendous, actually, in terms of how much it saves you and how much it optimizes the way you manage your data. So a whole lot of things happening that are great for the products that we have and the product roadmap that we have. I mentioned about the change, the last 10 years and the changes that are happening. Clearly, IP agility, and I know I don't need to tell our customers, is just so critical. You're getting users increasing, you're getting the data increasing, you're being told to reduce cost. So innovation becomes really, really critical. With innovation is an opportunity for everybody. It's an opportunity for suppliers like ourselves, it's an opportunity for our partners, and it's an opportunity for customers to get more and more competitive. From our perspective, our main focus now is customer satisfaction and product quality. It's been that way for the last 4 years. Mark mentioned we did take a dip in that, but it's the number one thing that we look at when we look at our very few of initiatives each year. That's something that we have every year, 4 or 5 very few things we want to be very successful with. And customer sat product quality is really, really critical. So you can innovate as much as you like, and as I've told developers in company meetings countless times, we want you to meet your development timescales, but not at the risk of quality. We want to cake and eat it, but if it's a quality issue, don't release the product. It's very, very important. The other thing, just while I'm on this slide, is when I look at the product roadmap, Carl's going to go through this, I've never been as excited about a product roadmap as I am today. I think our barrier to entry is now very, very significant against our competition. You'll see that in terms of where we sit with our products today, plus the roadmap. We're in a really, really strong position. And then in terms of innovation, from an F5 perspective, I would encourage our partners and customers to make sure you use, wherever you can, the value out of our products. I mean, one of the things that's great about our products is that the breadth of functionality continues to increase. Every time we come out with a new version of our product, we typically add 100 new functions, most of which are actually requested by customers. iRules is really critical. From a partner perspective, if you want to add margin to your sales, use iRules. Same with iControl. If you have any need for an API, it's added value. For our customers, obviously, iRule is great. Sometimes if you need to change applications, you can save time and money in a big way by doing that. DevCentral, who are pretty present at this forum over the next day and a half, where there's a lot of intelligence to be gained from there. Partners and customers, please sell and use modules. Our APM module is having tremendous interest, the identity management capability. So I would really implore you to do that, and you can actually be innovative with F5 products that help you both internally and externally in terms of selling your solutions. You're going to hear this a lot. F5 sits in strategic control points within the data center. We actually introduced this message, if you like, at our November industry analyst conference, investor analyst conference last year, and it really is resonating well with our customers, our partners, and with Wall Street, actually, where we sit in very strategic places within the data center. We see the control of data, flow of data. We see the workload and what's happening overall within the data center, and we can optimize that. And that I think, is going to do nothing but increase over time, because as I mentioned a couple of times now, we really are in the right place at the right time in terms of data center evolution. The Gartner Magic Quadrant, I think I use this typically when I'm talking about the competitive landscape that we have. I've mentioned on conference calls a number of times now, I think we're in the best competitive position we've ever been in from a technology leadership perspective. we're not in any way underestimating our competitors. We have strong competitors out there. But frankly, I think our technology leadership is probably the strongest it's been. Cisco, great company, do extremely well with their customers, unbelievable track record. The reality is they ignored our market in the 2000 to 2005 timeframe. We did the opposite. We invested dramatically. We come out with TMOS in September 2004, and we varied dramatically from a functionality perspective since then. Viprion, cluster multiprocessing and technology like that. So we've managed to build a pretty strong barrier to entry that I used to say we've got like an 18-month lead. I think it's much longer than that now. I think it's difficult for the competition to catch us. So I think we're in really good shape. Along with that, Mark showed you this, has come pretty strong gains in market share, really driven by good sales execution. I think we have a tremendous value add in our channel from a sales perspective, from a partner perspective as well, and from a support perspective. You can see that we pretty much dominate the market, and in fact, if you look at the advanced platform portion of the market, we really dominate. That's where Gartner basically talk about more than load balancing. So you may be doing modules, you may be using IOs, and we really dominate that space. And we have every intention to make sure that we remain paranoid so that we continue to gain market share. So that was just a very quick summary. I hope you enjoy the next day and a half. I'm looking forward to talking to you tonight, during the day, whatever. And once again, as I started, thank you very, very much for your business. Thank you.